everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss 25 most frequently asked object-oriented programming interview questions. So let's start. So first question is, what is object-oriented programming? So object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects which contain data and method. It helps in structuring code to be reusable, scalable, and easy to maintain. So second question is, what are the main principles of the object-oriented programming? So encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. These are the main four principles of the object-oriented programming. Sometime interview can ask you question like this, what are the main four pillars of the object-oriented programming? So answer for that question is the same. These are the main four pillars of the object-oriented programming. So our next question is, what is a class? So class is a blueprint for creating objects. It defines properties or attributes and methods or function that its object will have. Next one is what is an object? So an object is an instance of the class. It represents a real world entity with a state and behavior. So next question is what is encapsulation? So encapsulation is the practice of hiding internal object details and exposing only necessary parts. It protects data by restricting access using access modifier like a private and public. Interviewer can ask you question like this, like can you explain this term uh, uh, by writing program in any language or through code. So for that I have provided one example here of encapsulation. So here I have created a class name of employee, and there I declared the two private variable, name and salary. So uh, to get value of the name and salary and add data or value in the name and salary, I have created two properties, name and salary. So here we achieving encapsulation using these two variable which are the private. So for that to add and get data from these two variables, we declare two properties, and we are calling employee object employee class from class program, that is a main class of C sharp. So here we created object of employee, and we are assigning and accessing data from the uh, employee class with the help of this object. So next question is what is inheritance? So inheritance allows a one class child to inherit properties and methods from another class, that is parent. In general we are saying child inherit property of parents to promoting a code reuse. So next question is what is polymorphism? So polymorphism means the ability of a method to perform differently based on the object calling it. It's of two types: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism, also known as a method overloading, and runtime polymorphism, also known as a method overriding. Next one is what is abstraction. So abstraction hides complex implementation details and shows only essential feature to the user. So what is the difference between class and object? So as we discussed previous, a class is a blueprint and object is an actual instance of that blueprint. So our 10th question is what is the method overloading? So method overloading is a feature in object oriented programming that allows a class to have more than one method with the same name as long as their parameter lists are different. The difference can be in the number of parameters, the type of the parameters, or both. So what is a method overriding? So method overriding is a feature of object oriented programming where a subclass provides a specific implementation of a method to that is already defined in its superclass, means parent class. The overriding method must have the same name, return time, and the parameter as the method in the parent class. This allows the subclass to offer its own behavior for that method, which will be invoked at a runtime, enabling runtime polymorphism. So next question is what is the difference between method overriding and method overloading? Okay. So first we'll see method overloading. So method overloading occurs within the same class. Methods have the same name but different parameter list, different number of different number and a different type of parameters. It is an example of compile time polymorphism, and return type can be different, but overloading is based on the parameters. So method overriding. So method overriding occurs between two classes, parent and child, using inheritance. Methods have the same name and same parameters. It is an example of runtime polymorphism. The subclass provides a specific implementation of the method defined in the superclass. Return time must be the same or a subtype. So next one is what is a constructor? A constructor is a special method used to initialize the object when a class is instantiated. What is a destructor? A destructor is a method called automatically when an object is destroyed and it is used to free up resources. So, what is the difference between abstraction and encapsulation? So, abstraction hides the complex implementation details and expose only necessary feature to the user. But encapsulation restricts the direct access to an object data by hiding its internal state and enforcing interaction only through the controlled method. Next one is what is an interface. So an interface defines a contract of method that implementing class says must provide. It contains only method signature, no implementation. So what is the difference between interface and abstract class? So abstract class can contain both method implementation and variables, serve as a base class for subclasses. But interface primarily defines a method signature without implementation through some language allow default methods used to specify behavior that implementing classes must provide. What is a multiple inheritance? So multiple inheritance is when class inherits from more than one parent class. Some languages like a Java don't support it directly due to ambiguity issue. What is a virtual function? So virtual function allows a subclass to provide a method in a base class. It supports runtime polymorphism. What is a dynamic dispatch? A dynamic dispatch is the process of selecting which version of a method to call at a runtime. It is used in method overriding. What are the access specifier? So access specifier defines the scope of the class member. There are three types of access specifier. First one is a public, so that is accessible anywhere. Second one is a private, accessible only within a class, and third one is a protected, accessible within a class and its subclasses. What is a what is the this keyword? This refers to the current instance of the class. It helps distinguish between class attributes and parameters with the same name. What is the difference between composition and inheritance? Inheritance is a relationship and composition has a relationship. Composition is more flexible and promotes loose coupling. What is a coupling in object oriented programming? Coupling refers to how dependent classes are on one another. Loose coupling is preferred to make code more modular and flexible. So last question is what is cohesion in object oriented programming? So cohesion refers to how closely related and focused the responsibility of a single class are. High cohesion is a desirable.